Hi there, welcome to Floating in Dreams. This is going to be my NATASHA DENONA eyeshadow palette reorganization of the reorganization. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. This video is going to be a quick little reorganization of my NATASHA DENONA palettes. A couple of years ago I had just these four, and because the color stories weren't quite right for me, I decided to reorganize them. So the My Dream now looks like this. The Glam looks like this. The Retro Glam sadly fell apart as I was trying to put it away just now. So all the shades already came out of it. But it was a lot of the gray tones and some of the greens. And here is what my retro looks like. So I reorganized them, but I just feel now that I have two more that I don't feel like reorganizing, that I'm like, you know what, I'm going to put these color stories back together the way they came. I've downloaded the pictures from the internet, so I'm going to first remove all of the pans from these eyeshadow palettes, and then I'm going to put them back together the way they came. So let me just do that, because that way I can again get more use out of these palettes for sure. So they are all empty, and that means we can start putting these back together. I think I'm going to zoom you in a little bit here. So I have everything here lying off to the side, and I'm going to start things off with the My Dream, because I think that's going to be the easiest one to do, because I know it has the black, which is in the top right corner, the multi-chrome, and then also this orangey thing is either the one, I don't know exactly which one it is. It could be this one right there, actually, or maybe the one all the way towards the end. And then it also has the darker and brighter pops of purple in that I had in one of the palettes. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get the rest right, because some of them are super similar. But there is this like lighter, like I've got the image here on my phone, so I can have a look. So I'm sort of looking for that lighter beige shade, and I think actually I have already found it, because that looks identical. And there's also like some orangey tones, which I don't have too many of. So I think this needs to go here. I think this needs to go here. And there should be something a bit lighter and peachier, which is a shade in the middle. I think I'm going to struggle mostly with the shades that are like the shimmers, because those all look very similar. I actually think that this brown needs to go here. So I think we're doing pretty good with that. Now I just need to figure out these shimmers. I think one of these brighter pink tones is going to be the pink shimmer, and I think it's going to be that lighter one. Let me see. I can't, of course, see the shifts, but yeah, I do think that this one with the slight golden sheen may actually be the one. But this one does look less used, so this can also be from the Retro Glam, or from the Retro. Not entirely sure with that, but I think this just kind of looks off if I put this one here. I think it needs to be, I need to zoom you out just a tad here. Because I think that this shade goes with it a little bit better, and I'm pretty sure that this is for the retro, as are like these like deeper purpley things. I just know that these warmer purpley things are from the retro. I just know it. And also some of these like brassy sort of looking shades, those are all retro shades. I didn't label these when I took them out, which is my mistake. This is definitely not from either one of these, so this is also going to be, oh, that's the one in here. That one should go in there. And I'm thinking that this could be this one. Not entirely sure, but I am certain that this is a shade from the retro because it's broken and I dropped my retro ones. So I'm pretty sure that that's the one. And I remember the Dream palette is overall quite warm toned. So I am thinking that maybe that gold can be from the Glam actually. But this is a bit more peachy toned leaning. Very light pink shimmer. Oh, there's 2 light pink shimmers in the retro. So that one needs to go into the retro as well, because there's one with a golden undertone and one that doesn't have that. So both of those need to go into that. Ooh. I think I just need 2 more. And they're both like this goldeny sort of thing. I think this one, because it has that peach, is the one that goes in the bottom here. I'm not entirely sure about this one just yet. This needs to go here, I think. It would be lovely if these pictures online would be the same sort of... Let me see what looks better. I mean, it's okay, like, as long as they... No, this is definitely more reddish toned. So this needs to go there. This needs to go there, and then I just need to figure out, because this is like a brassy taupey sort of shade that needs to go in there. I'm thinking it's this one. I think I have the main color story here. I'm gonna pop the palette on top so that I can, because I'm not gonna put anything into a palette unless I'm certain that this is the one. Then we have the retro, which I think I have most of those shades already. I do think, however, that there are some shades that I've now selected to go in there that don't need to go in there because I have some of the pink tones in here. For instance, this matte I think is for the Retro Glam. This is certainly for the Retro Glam. And then I also think maybe this one even. No, it wasn't anything that dark. This needs to go into the retro as well. So I'm pretty certain that the way the retro is supposed to look, it's this one in this top left corner with this one in the middle, because you have this like quad of warm tones that was in the bottom right corner that I never really reached for, so I'm thinking it's this one. I think this is actually going to be the hardest one to put back together. It looks like there is a more vibrant violet shimmer in here, but I don't see it anywhere. Would it be this one? I do still think that this needs to go here. And then I think, because this seems to have a bit of shimmer, and I remember it was the bottom shades that fell out and that got cracked. So I'm pretty certain it's like this. I'm actually thinking that this may be this shade here, and then I'm putting this in the wrong spot. But that's the thing, like this does have a bit of like a satiny feel, so that's why I feel it needs to go there. If I just look at the overall color story. I'm not entirely sure. I'm definitely stumped here on some of the things that look like they're going to be shimmers in the images that I have found online. And I have no clue what to do with this shade, because it doesn't seem to go into any of the other palettes. Yet there's nothing in the retro that makes me feel like, oh, that should go there. There is this really nice dark brown shimmer, which I think needs to go here. And now I feel like I've taken some of the things that I thought could be in the Retro Glam and I've sort of put it in here. So let me see if I can find some shades that I think will go into the Retro Glam and put those shades like up here, up top, so we can have a look together. I'm pretty certain I have all the green tones. So I have this lighter matte green that's supposed to go into this cubby. And I have the slightly deeper one that's one shade over. Like I have that. I have the very light green shimmer that's in the middle. And then I also have, like these all look the same. So I'm thinking, I think I figured it out. This needs to go up here. This needs to go up here, and this needs to go down there. So I'm pretty sure that that's right. And then I think this may be this shade there. I think we're doing pretty good. So perhaps if I put the Glam together, which I can lay out over here, I'm going to again find shades that I'm like, oh yeah, this is for certain this thing. Because the Glam has that gold in the bottom, so I'm certain that that's in there. There is this really nice matte in the middle, so that I know for sure is in the Glam. Ooh, I'm now thinking that this may actually be in the Glam. No, that's not in the Glam. There's a rose gold that's in the Glam. I know that. But now, of course, I have two rose golds that look really similar. I'm thinking that this is the rose gold from the Glam palette. This may be from the retro. Or, yeah, I think that's from the retro. There should be like a matte dark brown. Is this not from the retro? Why do I think there is this dark gray or dark brown in the retro? Why do I think that? I think this is actually in the Glam. I do think that this needs to go here. Like, a lot of these are pretty obvious, I have to say. Like, what they're going to be in terms of what goes in what palette. I really had expected this to be much more of a struggle. I think this, like, goldeny toned one needs to go up top. But then there's still something wrong here because there needs to be like a goldeny tone in that bottom row. So there's something that doesn't go right here. So I've done something wrong. Maybe, hold on, let me have another look at the My Dream. No, this is pretty accurate, I feel. Like, these are all fitting. These are good. These are okay. And these are okay. There's like only like one or two shimmers here that I'm not fully certain on. So that could be it. This, I'm thinking is pretty accurate, but I'm not sure about this shade. Like, it looks so much lighter in the images. I'm going to have a quick look on my blog because I have pictures taken in natural lighting. Yeah, there we go. Now we're there. I think that's it. I've got the retro. Yep, I figured the retro out. Okay. And I'm thinking I'm really, really close here because I think that this then needs to go in there as well. I definitely think I'm gonna like leave it at this. It's probably not perfect, but I've just found out that my retro palette was already in the wrong order back when I reorganized them to begin with. So that's what I've just found out with these new pictures. So let me pop them in, and maybe if I see them with the different backgrounds, I might even feel differently. But I feel pretty solid on my picks here. I'm not even sure if this is supposed to be so light, but I'm just gonna go with it. So, and then here is what the retro glam looks like. I feel that that's pretty true to what it used to look like, so I'm happy with what that turned out to be. Let's do the retro palette next. This one I also feel pretty solid on, that I've put it back together the wrong way. The one I'm most unsure of is actually the glam, because those tones are so similar. Oh, I did that completely off camera. I do apologize. I thought I was in frame. But here is what my retro now looks like. I feel that that's pretty true to what it was supposed to look like. And these are the ones I'm the most unsure of. The Glam and the My Dream. But we're going to go for it. Oh, that is not pink enough. That is not pink enough. I pop it in and I'm like, nope, that's not the shade. That looks better because this also looks more used, and the Glam is the oldest one I have, so those shades I've probably used the most out of all of them. Now that I have them all in, I'm like, yeah, with the black background here, I can see that this kind of worked. Maybe I need to put these two in a slightly different order. Hold on. That could be it. That could be why it still feels off. Because now that it has the proper background, I feel it feels different again. Oh, let's pop you in the right way. Does this feel truer to color? I don't. I feel the other way around felt better. We take our My Dream palette with the black, those really nice purples, the multi-chrome. Those I could place like instantly into the right spot. I just think that in all the images, some of those gray tones that were in the Glam just look lighter than they are in real life. I think that must have been the issue. It's so difficult to get makeup to like show up true to color. Yeah, and now I see that this shade is called Bubbles, and I feel that it looks pretty decent, doesn't it? Like, for these not having been labeled, I'm pretty chuffed with myself. Alright, so that was a quick little eyeshadow palette rejig, putting them back into the original color stories, because I have the I Need a Nude and I have the Xenon, and I don't want to rearrange those, so I just felt like it would be a natural choice for me to also not have these reorganized, and I do still like these. Like, they're good color stories. So part of me is really happy that they're back into their little families, and I think I did a pretty good job, because a lot of this I just did from memory, with just an image next to me. So yeah, Natasha Denona palettes are reorganized. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you really enjoyed watching this video today. I know it's a bit of a random one, but I always do a couple of these spin-offs whenever I've filmed my declutters, and this is something I really wanted to do, so thank you so very much for joining me here today. Thumbs up this video if you liked it, and subscribe to me if you want to see more by me, because I do post 4 times a week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.